morning. Happy Monday. It is March 13th. Happy spring break to all the spring breakers or parents who are at home with the kiddos this week and visitors.
We were just talking, one of our producers, Landon, I said, he's like, I guess we don't have spring break. And we're like, Landon, how old are you? He's like, I'm 26. He's like, after 25, there's no spring break.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're a parent, spring break becomes double duty because you have your regular job and then you got to entertain the kids for the week.
Right, or put them in a camp or take off from work. Hopefully, maybe take off some time yourself, go on vacation. And we're apologizing if you hear any noises in the background. We have a little bit of construction going on here in KSAT.
I was just talking to Scott, who does all the creative services, and I was like, Scott, what are you doing here? He's like, we've won so many awards. When people start coming into the building, we want to show them off.
Yeah, he is drilling holes literally in the wall right behind us. So
and
we've hardened the noise.
Super in depth. I was like, why is this so loud? He's like, because we have to drill through metal, through drywall, and through concrete. And I'm like, oh, good.
Good.
During the 11
I got to put up one of my awards on the wall.
Oh, look at you. High five.
It's an honor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, hey, yesterday was the Oscars. Last night was the Oscars. That's like my Super Bowl. You know, I start watching early, see what everyone's wearing.
Champagne carpet.
The champagne carpet, not the red carpet, even though they still called it red carpet coverage.
It's a whole issue. We've been
It's a lot to
talking about
take in.
it.
But we have a lot of other important headlines to get to.
That's right. So we're going to start with the not banking crisis, banking crisis.
Right.
It's been a whole situation that really started the end of last week with Silicon Valley Bank essentially folding, and then the FDIC had to take it over. So President Biden speaking this morning on the U.S. banking system. So Silicon Valley Bank, the first bank to close. What you're seeing there is HBC. They actually ended up buying the UK version of Silicon Valley Bank.
So, of course, these failures prompted fears of, as customers, you know, they're getting worried. Are they still going to have access to their money? And U.S. regulators worked over the weekend to fund buyers for the banks, which have more than $200 billion in assets.
So no one actually bought the U.S. version, the home version of SVB with Silicon Valley Bank. Officials assured customers that they're able to access their money today. And this comes as the emergency lending program was created to stop a wave of bank runs that can threaten the stability of the banking system as a whole. And here's a fun fact. So Silicon Valley Bank is now the second largest bank failure in U.S. history after 2008's Washington Mutual Bank, and then Signature in New York is the third largest.
Okay, Max, acting as our financial analyst, he's kind of been like talking about this for the last 4 days. Should people be worried? I mean, is that the reason why we have President Biden, you know, doing a special live report this morning?
Right before the market opened.
Right.
I think that is the important part to note.
So what do you think the goal was there for
you temper expectations, because when a bank fails, obviously everyone's been talking about, and we understand this can be a lot of confusing things, everyone's been talking about the interest rates and the possible recession and a lot of people cutting jobs. So when you have a bank essentially fold and all of those companies that use the bank for their bankrolls, like a startup company, if their money's in there, they can't pay their employees. So this could have had ripple effects. And then Biden speaking today, I think he did temper expectations. He did say investors are not protected, but the depositors in the bank, they are protected. So FDIC standard rules are, if you have money in the bank, you are protected up to $250,000. The problem is that a lot of companies in Silicon Valley and around the country, we actually heard from an Ohio business owner this morning, they had their bankroll and all of their business funds in the bank. So if you had more than $250,000, whatever the excess is, they weren't protected. So they could have technically, potentially lost all of their money. A
little terrifying. So how did the markets react after Biden's remarks?
So I've been posting about it through my Instagram page. Shameless plug to my Instagram. They started off super red, you know, really negative. Everyone was still wondering. But now, looking at it right now, all three major indexes are in the green. And the big one was the NASDAQ, because that is a lot of the tech stocks. The tech companies, a lot of them, especially the crypto companies, they had their money in Silicon Valley Bank.
Oof. Okay, so is this, I mean, we've been talking about it for months.
Right.
Is this hinting at recession and other banks following suit?
So a lot of major analysts and economists anticipate a recession this year. Whether it's a deep recession or a shallow recession, two different things. The problem is that a lot of people think that because banks have failed, we might stop interest rate hikes. You have that over here, and then tomorrow we should be getting our CPI numbers, which is the Consumer Price Index, which basically is the gauge for inflation. And the only way to really fight inflation that the Fed can do
is raise interest rates.
So you have the Fed coming
Vicious
out
cycle.
saying, not saying, but people are implying that they're going to stop raising interest rates, maybe pause it or maybe raise it lower than accepted. Then you have what we could find out tomorrow, which could be hotter than expected inflation numbers.
Ooh.
So you're stuck in this do we or don't we situation.
Right. All right. Definitely something very important that we
Yeah.
need to keep an eye on. Thank you, Max.
Yeah.
Okay, on to a big story this morning. A suspected stalker shot and killed a podcaster and her husband in their Washington State home.
He then shot himself after their murder. So this podcaster and her husband, they were killed just before 2 in the morning. Officers rushed to the home in Redmond when shots were first reported.
So they've called police before in December and January reporting that she was being stalked, and the couple actually, they did what they were supposed to do. They filed a protection order against the shooter after he listened to her podcast and started calling her friends and family and left voicemails at night. At one point they're saying he was leaving 20 messages a day to the husband.
That's scary.
Yeah, and so when she didn't answer, he threatened to burn himself alive along with the tree in front of their house. So this had been going on for a couple of months. The mother-in-law, she moved in as a precaution to kind of help out the family. And according to police reports, that stalker got in through a window in the home, saw the mother-in-law, passed her because he went straight to the podcaster herself. And that's when he held her hostage, shot the husband. It's a really tragic story.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
This stalker was a truck driver from Houston, and her podcast was on Farsi speakers trying to get into the tech industry.
Okay.
And so it's just a real tragedy here. They were scared.
Right, and they seemingly did everything you were supposed to do in a situation like this.
Yeah, it is very terrifying, and I'm sure we're going to find out more on this investigation once all those police reports come out.
Absolutely. All right, here locally, crazy situation overnight. A man crashed his vehicle into a South Side home this morning and crashed right into a bedroom of a 12-year-old girl.
This is terrifying.
Yeah.
So this happened around midnight on the 350 block of Drury Lane near Commercial Avenue in Pleasanton. Police say a man in his 30s was driving way too fast and crashed into the home. He then tried to take off, but was found, as you can see on your screen there, a few blocks away by authorities.
All right, so here's the good news. No one was hurt during the ordeal, including the child. I mean, terrifying situation. And right now, police still investigating, but no injuries, car into a home, suspect arrested.
Very terrifying.
Yeah. All right, so
Okay, on a happy note.
on a happy note, we started the show talking about spring break. Happy spring break if you're out there watching, trying to figure out stuff to do.
That's right. So we have some fun things you can do. Have you ever gone kayaking?
That's actually a huge kayak.
Have you ever carried a kayak? Very heavy. But kayaking, it's actually a lot of fun.
Right.
Our photographer, Asian Vermia, has taken my husband and I out kayaking on the San Antonio River. And you can do so at Woodlawn Lake and Elmendorf Lake at a very inexpensive price.
Yeah, so $15, San Antonio Parks and Rec Department partnering with the Expedition School, having visitors rent canoes, kayaks, and paddleboards. I've always wanted to go paddleboarding.
It's a lot of fun.
At both lakes, Expedition School will also offer lessons, health and wellness programs, camps, and even water safety courses.
Get this, it's only $15 an hour. There are some businesses in town that will charge $50 an hour to rent a kayak on the San Antonio River. So this is an awesome program. It started in 2006 and expanded into San Antonio. And for more information on those rentals, you can see that article right now on KSAT.com.
Hey, Justin, you want to come join us?
I'm coming.
Come on, mosey on over.
Okay,
what did they do?
I
had my Penn State cup up here.
I'm sorry.
Someone moved it here. I'll get it for you,
Thank
Max.
you.
No,
So-
no, that's not necessary.
No,
No,
he
very
wants-
necessary.
I
So,
have to support my co-anchor
oh,
here.
look at that. Instead of saying friend, she says co-anchor.
Penn State.
Thank
go
you.
go
We
Max's
are.
team.
You don't
Look
want to
at it.
support
Wrong
your,
camera, but
your
that's fine,
favorite
too.
meteorologist?
Oh, Sarah Spivey?
Oh.
Yeah, I have to.
Where's SMU in that bracket?
I don't even
Oh,
know.
dang. All right, maybe NIT.
Okay.
So Justin,
Yes.
we were spoiled over the weekend. We had 92 on Saturday. Yesterday was 80s, gorgeous out there.
Yep.
Today, though, you're kind of killing the spring break vibe.
It's not my fault.
Wow.
Wait till you see
Maybe
the
it's his
long-term
basketball
forecast.
team's fault.
Goodness.
Yes, could be. We can blame Penn State on that. Speaking of which, here's our trivia question today.
Oh.
What are the odds of filling out a perfect bracket as we get our brackets ready?
Math
Okay.
questions. Ugh.
It is math. Is it A, 1 in 9 quintillion, 1 in 7 billion, 1 in 8 quadrillion, or 1 in 4 trillion?
I think I'm going to go with D. I feel like I've heard this before.
D.
She
Okay.
took my answer. I'm going to go with
For
B then.
1 in
Okay.
4 trillion
Okay.
for our podcast listeners.
No, it is 1 in 9
Oh.
quintillion. It's
9
the
quintillion.
odds are definitely
Does
stacked
this
against you.
count the playing games?
Yes.
Okay.
But it also, now this number assumes that you're just picking at random. If you have some knowledge of basketball,
You're probably worse off.
Improve a little bit, but not much.
Okay.
This is what's funny. You have better odds of winning Powerball on 2 consecutive tickets than filling out a perfect bracket. You have better odds of getting injured by a toilet.
Okay, you need to be more specific with this injury. Like,
This was on CNN. I read this morning. Honestly, with a lack of sleep, I'm not making any guarantees with that one. And then you have the better odds of finding a specific acorn hidden in a tree somewhere on Earth.
question. How often?
Do you look for acorns in specific trees on Earth?
No. How often does
Maybe.
someone actually? Every year, is there somebody who has
No.
a perfect or?
No one
when
ever
was
has.
When was? Have we ever had a
I
perfect
think if
bracket?
I remember correctly, someone got like 49 games or something like that. They did pretty well, but no one's ever done a perfect bracket.
This could be it. This could be the year, Justin.
Too bad I didn't fill out a bracket.
You have so much time. Games haven't even started.
Yeah, you have time.
I'd rather
are
go
you
look for
gonna-
that acorn. Sounds more fun.
Oh boy. Well, it is spring break. You guys brought that up. Let me look at some of the travel delays here across the country because there are some. San Francisco, it's been a problem spot really for a week or so. More rain, strong winds, that's causing delays there. Houston seeing some delays. And I think we're going to see more across the country in the coming days because the weather pattern gets active. So if you have plans to fly or you're flying home, this is definitely a week where you want to check ahead. For us, cooler today. Front came through yesterday. Clouds are trying to clear. The clearing line is right there in northern Bexar County. Still clouds over downtown, but we can see the sun there in the distance. And it is helping to warm things up. 57 degrees at the airport, 56 Kerrville, 55 in Austin with sunny skies there and 60s down to the south. Right now, mid to upper 50s here in town with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Here's a look at the forecast. And we'll see some off and on clouds the rest of today. Then as we get into tomorrow, the clouds begin to fill in again. And I think we could see a couple of showers tomorrow, but they're going to be really light showers. Nothing that we're going to be too worried about. It will be mostly cloudy on your Tuesday. And we'll put in a 10% chance. That's it, 10% of seeing a light shower or two. So the next couple days will be kind of cool, somewhat cloudy. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast for today, 68 at 3 o'clock. I do think with some sun we'll make it up to around 70 or so today. So really pretty nice day, but it'll get chilly again tonight, and tomorrow will be a little bit below average. 64 on your Tuesday, 70 Wednesday and cloudy. Thursday is our hottest day. We're up to 82. We get some showers. Humidity is back, and then we get a frontal boundary. That brings in some storms Thursday night, early Friday morning. Turns windy and cooler on Friday, 62. And then we get into the weekend, 50s is what we're looking for right now, chances of showers. And I was just going through some of the newer computer models that are coming in. We're not quite there yet, but I'll be very curious to see how this weekend and early next week plays out because there's going to be some cold air involved.
I'm going to ask you the question that you
What
did not
questions?
want me to ask you.
Okay.
Sarah Spivey texted me and says she
Yeah.
might be forecasting a very brief minor freeze on Monday with this cold front. I just planted 45 plants in my yard.
Does that count the KSAT plans?
No, KSAT, and I also just planted the KSAT garden as well. So,
Okay. Here's what I'll tell you is it could be close Monday morning,
okay.
but as of right now, we're just above that mark.
Okay. Like, what are we talking? 34, 35?
Could be, yeah.
Can I get a 38 maybe? 40?
Justin like won't even walk back into the shot.
He's like
I'm
walking
out.
away. He's like, please.
Leave me alone.
No, it's possible. Just stay tuned.
Look at that. Great tease ahead.
Ah.
Like the great meteorologist he is. Well done,
you.
Justin Horn.
Thank
All
you very
right.
much.
So
Good
Justin
luck on your
Horn.
brackets.
Thank you. You too, Justin. Penn State over A&M.
Oh boy.
So, Justin's weather segment is done. You know what else is done?
The Oscars.
The Oscars. Your Super Bowl.
It's my Super Bowl, you know. I watch real closely, and the award season's over. It means I don't get to see all the different outfits and stuff. And hey, everything, everywhere. Oh my gosh,
We've messed this up all day.
I'm surprised.
Did you watch the movie?
No, I have not seen it. Sarah Spivey said it was great. Everything, everywhere, all at once. There we go. Winning 7 Oscars last night. And the last movie to win that many was Gravity with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney in 2014. Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
it's a little scary.
So at the beginning of the show, though, it looked like another movie was giving it a run for the money as the German film and book All Quiet on the Western Front started strong with 4 awards right off the bat.
It won Best Cinematography and International Feature Film. And let's not forget their beloved Brendan Fraser winning Best Actor for The Whale. Oh, he was phenomenal in that movie. It's a really sad, hard movie to watch, but his performance was just outstanding. He really did deserve that. And of course, Michelle Yeoh winning Best Actress. I loved her remarks saying, "Women, don't anyone ever let you know that you are past your prime."
Loved it.
I love that. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis winning her first Oscar.
Oh, that was a little controversial.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people thought, I'm losing the name. Can you help me?
The queen from Wakanda forever.
Give me the actress. I'm sorry, say it again.
Angela Bassett,
Angela Bassett. She was expected to win because her performance was phenomenal. And then, of course,
haven't seen it yet.
when they panned to her, you know, she didn't look too happy.
I wouldn't be either. Who likes to lose?
But most, you know, because the whole thing is you have to cheer and be happy.
You don't have to do anything.
But yeah, that was a little bit of
I want to give love
controversy.
to Michael B. Jordan, who came out and was like, "Don't worry, Auntie, we love you."
I love Michael B. Jordan too. Hey, a little controversy as well on the pre-show on ABC. Ashley Graham, she is a social media influencer. She was interviewing. She's known for being a plus-size model. She's beautiful. I love her. She was interviewing Hugh Grant. And Hugh Grant was rude to her.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. Twitter came after him. Twitter was like, "Why even do the interview if you're going to be so rude?" It was a little hard to watch. I was like, ooh,
cringy.
Ooh, I was cringing. I was
Hopefully
like, ooh.
this isn't cringy. Well, if you did, I don't even know what camera to look at. If you did stay with us this long, what are we at? Like 20 minutes in? Thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Oh, also, we should have mentioned RJ's in South by Southwest.
Oh, yes. RJ Marquez and Andrew Wilson in South by Southwest. They're going to be giving coverage. Make sure you like and follow our YouTube page where they're going to be streaming. Subscribe, sorry, all the words. See you guys tomorrow at 11.
Cheers.